Derick Giwner, joined by Matt Rose at the Bates Motel somewhere in central Ohio, maybe, to talk about the Jackpot High 5 at Woodbine Mohawk Park for Saturday, August the 29th. There is a huge carryover, 381,000 and some change on the line. Figure the pool will be about $1 million. We're going to try to take it down by looking at the 11-horse field in the 13th race, which starts with number 1 Yacht Sealster, who seems to be dropping in class, Matt.
Yeah, but there's also joining a bunch of other horses that are also dropping in class here. This really is a mixed bag of pacers here, which is usually what they present us with the challenge of trying to navigate through these mandatory payouts, Jackpot High 5 races. And we do have an oversized 11-horse field with a couple of trailers. Yacht Sealster, the rail sometimes isn't the best place, and he can get buried pretty quickly. So unless Trevor Henry is listed the driver super aggressive, he may be buried early and buried throughout. So I don't particularly have him unless you look at the all, which is a very popular feature for the fifth slot when people are wagering in these events.
He's a horse I like on my ticket. I like the drop-down angle. I think he'll be a little bit more aggressive in this spot. We'll move on to number 2. It's Persimmon A, who shipped up to Canada last week and raced pretty well, second, though he was in a lower class, maybe a couple classes lower. This is going to be a tougher spot.
Yeah, definitely a tougher spot, but he acclimated well shipping north of the border. Missed by a neck, coming home in sub-27. Jody Jamieson gets the call again. Again, he's not on my ticket, but I can't fault anybody for using him. I've been a fan of the sharp horse moving up angle more so than the maybe less formful horse dropping down. So he is definitely one to consider.
The 3 is Fixed Idea. Certainly had some class there coming out of the graduate races, but we haven't seen him race in like 6 weeks. What do we do with this guy?
Yeah, that's a problem. You have to assume that he's ready to go, but shipping back north from the Meadowlands, put in a couple of really insignificant races in the Meadowlands, and yeah, what, 6-7 weeks or something like that.
Number 4 is Western Exposure. I actually watched this race last week and saw it, and it was a different kind of field that he beat there, so I'm not quite sure what to make of his move into this class. I think the step up might be a little bit too tough, even though he went 49 and change last week.
Yeah, the step up doesn't scare me that much for this 4-year-old. He is going to be prominently placed on my tickets. I like that sub 150 mile. I know it's kind of commonplace these days, but it was a significantly better effort, and I think he can go with these.
The 5 is Tracer Hanover. He's my top pick. He's going to be a lot of people's top pick. He's probably going to be the post-time favorite. Dropping in class a couple of classes here. I see driver Louis Philippe Roy going right to the front here, and they're going to have a lot of trouble.
Louis Philippe Roy, I believe.
Isn't that what I said?
Close enough.
It must be a connection issue on your end.
Anyway, yeah, I can see this guy being the favorite and attracting a lot of attention. Dropping out of the preferred his last 3 starts, where he's a little bit overmatched. You can just look at his odds: 25-1, 47-1, 54-1, I believe, and completely no factor. Yes, he drops down to his preferred level, no preferred handicap. But I think this guy's going to be overbet. I'm not a huge fan of a horse dropping when he doesn't have much current form. Sometimes horses can get discouraged chasing better horses. And yes, there's obviously the obvious drop and pop angle, but he's going to attract a lot of attention on top. And when we see my ticket, I'm not going to have him on top. I'm going to try to get cute and try to beat him because I'm just leery of the horse with not a lot of form dropping down versus some other horses that are moving up with good form. So I'll have him on my ticket, but as you'll see in a moment, I don't have him on top in my ticket.
Number 6 is Rockin' and Talkin'. I've been racing in this class week after week and getting small pieces. That kind of makes me not want to use him.
Yeah, he looks like a long shot in here. We do get a new set of hands, and Bob McClure is listed as Louis Philippe Roy moves to the favorites. Uh, Hard to make a case for the top few spots for this guy. He's had plenty of chances at this level and hasn't really converted. His only couple of wins were against lesser competition, so long shot for sure.
The 7 is Sportscom, a horse I'm going to be using on my ticket pretty prominently. Last time, second tier, not on the gate. I don't really like that. Prior start was really good, though down in class, one spot. But this is a classy horse who could certainly handle this type.
Yeah, and so he might be a little bit of a sneaky horse here. He's listed at 12 to 1 on the morning line. I have a feeling he's going to take maybe a little more action than that. Doug Mcnair is back continues to stay in the bike. We did see him put in a solid effort to P2 back, and like you said, he was kind of lost at the back of the pack. Has his nose on the gate here. Should be floating away from good position. He is on my ticket at 12 to 1. I think he's being a lot of people's tickets. Definitely a contender here.
The 8 is Ideal Jet, coming off a confidence-building win out of town. Back at Woodbine Mohawk Park now in a class where he just really wasn't racing that great, so it's hard to use him.
Yeah, it's like he wasn't showing that much form of Woodbine. Shipped over to Georgian for raced well there at odds on, so that probably is telling of the competition there. Back where he hasn't performed that well, does show some early speed. Maybe Rick Zion can try to hustle him out of there, but I think he'll encounter some sort of shuffle as the flow develops, and I don't see him firing with much late, especially if it's after making a move early. I don't see him making 2 moves to win this.
The 9 is Points North, a horse I'm going to be using on my ticket. A lot of times you don't want this horse from the far outside post, but I really think he's got the speed to overcome. He's certainly made the most money this year. I think he's sharp enough to compete with these. I mean, I don't know that I like him to win the race, but I definitely like him to be in the number.
Yeah, he's got to be aggressively handled, or else he gets away last potentially in this 11-horse field. So he's got to push away from the gate. It all comes down to the trip. I will be using him on my tickets because he does fit with these. But again, he will have to get a little bit lucky securing position early on in the mile, or else it'll just be too far back.
The 10, Sam's a Champ Bay, steps up for the 4th straight week. Clearly has some form, but second tier, I don't know. I'm not in love with this horse.
You know what? You got the sharp horse moving up angle, which I like. We have this Yannick Gingras. It's listed to pick up a catch drive. I kind of like him a little bit in this spot. Again, it comes down to getting some trip luck. But I think this guy, although he shows a lot of lower conditioned races on his recent resume, I think he can go with these, and he's certainly improving. And I think he's got a 150 mile or so in him, and it comes down to trip. And if he's around 10 to 1, I think he's very usable.
Better Be Going, number 11, is a horse I was going to use a little higher on my ticket, but I have a problem seeing how he's going to get involved in this race from the second tier. I see some horses, like we mentioned, Points North, maybe Sportscom, who could be aggressive early on, and from the second tier, that could put this guy in bad shape.
Yeah, you know what? With the long run into the first turn, and yeah, he could get shuffled back early and potentially blind switched early. But yeah, this guy belongs in this race for sure. And while he's not in the top 2 or 3 spots on my ticket, I do have him a little farther down on the tickets. Again, what else can you say? I mean, much like most of these, it comes down to trip. This is an evenly matched field. You can make a case for a ton of them, and this guy does have sub 27 last quarter potential, I think, in him. Again, it comes down to trip. He might be stacked up with too much cover or used too early to try to secure a spot in the flow. But he will be on the bottom rungs of my ticket.
You want to take a look at my ticket first? I'm going to go with the Tracer Hanover in the top spot. You see, I spread a little deeper after that. Fixed Idea, who, like we said, I just don't know what to expect, but I know he's good enough. Sports Column and Points North, two decent price plays. Adding in Yacht Sealster in the third spot, and then we're going to spread pretty wide. 75-60, which maybe a big amount to spend for a normal everyday ticket, but when you have a $381,000 carryover, that's about right. Matt, what do you got?
All right. Well, you'll see that my ticket's a little bit cheaper, $50.20, I believe, for a 20-cent play. I'm going to try to get cute here and use Tracer or Tracker Hanover, the 5-horse in the second slot, for reasons I kind of explained already, how he's probably going to be the favorite. And I'm not enamored with the horse with no current form really dropping down to use as a favorite on top. I'll put him in the second slot because realistically, I think he should be right there at the wire. I would imagine, unless he gets used too hard. I'll go with the Western Exposure on top. Sharp horse with Sylvain Filion moving up off the win, and Sylvain Filion sticks with them. We'll use the sneaky horse, maybe Sports Column, 12-to-1 morning line, with Doug Mcnair taking a little play. Points North, again, he's talented from the outside. Sam's a champ with the Yannick Gingras, another sharp horse moving up angle. We Tracker exclusively in the second slot. Use pretty much the same horses in the third slot. Throw Better Be Going Tier in the fourth slot, and use the ever popular All in the fifth spot, because how do you handicap a horse to finish fifth? It's practically impossible when there can be 6-7 horses across the track for that slot. So $50 tickets. Try to get the favorite in the second slot and maybe a little value on top.
Well, that's a look at the Jackpot High Five $381,000 carryover. The post time is 6:30 on Saturday at Woodbine Mohawk Park. There's a $100,000 guaranteed pick 5 in race number 1 and all stakes pick 5 in race number 7. If you want to play those wagers, including the Jackpot High Five, I'd do it on DRF bets because we have a 10% rebate on exotic wagers and free harness IPPs. Plenty to check out. Good luck on Saturday at Woodbine.